In the second episode of You're Not a Narcissist, we're going to talk about how needing attention and validation does not make you a narcissist. I know it is a red flag for narcissism, and, we're not talking about trait narcissism. Remember, this is NPD full-blown, you are effed. This person is effed, and everyone around them is effed for life type narcissism. Let's crash the car. So validation and attention seeking. We're human beings. We, especially, if you weren't given that as a kid, and we all have needs. Everybody is, wants to be seen and heard. That's the human condition, and it's a slippery thing. It's like I struggled with this. I was like, you see people on social media, or you see people do things that's like overtly kind of gross and attention seeking, and like immediately I go to like judging that person. And I remember talking to a friend of mine, he called them a meme, and because they're just so, it was like really like, this is a person that like, I'm pretty sure she like lied about having cancer. There's no proof, but just a lot of really gross stuff. And of course the knee jerk I had was like, that's so gross, and like just shitting on her. But it's just like, if you really like the implications of that, again, this is off topic. It's a narcissism aside, maybe not a narcissist. This is just some random person. And I don't want to go. I'm gonna go. No, I shouldn't go. And it's like, yeah, it's easy to just go judgmental land, but at the same time, it's like for that person, that's somebody no one paid attention to grow. Like they're needing to get, there's a reason someone's doing that, and that they're getting their needs met. Like, so I try, anyway, so if you're like that, you don't necessarily have narcissism. Like, that is probably one of the bigger gaslights that like a narcissist will place on you when, the discard and all that crap happens, and you're confused, and you're in that fog, and you're all confused, and you're freaking out, and you think you're the problem, and you start losing it, and the blame shifting just mollywops you. Love that word. Yeah, you can think you're the, because you need attention, and especially as that attention goes away with the narcissistic relationship, like in all the, the praise and all the stuff, the validation, that's a tool they use. So you might need more attention, then you think to yourself, oh, I need attention, I need validation, like I must be a narcissist, I'm the narcissist, I'm the problem. Again, you're in this video, you're doing the healing work, you probably aren't the narcissist. And this is the point of this video series. Validation seeking, attention seeking and validation seeking externally is not narcissism. These are like traits that can, NPD is, again, lack of empathy, and it is a delusion. It is a defense mechanism. It is a way to cope for an individual who has been severely emotionally traumatized, and from like a very young age. The pure NPD, the research has pretty much come out. It is so enmeshed in the personality. It's a personality disorder, personality, genetics, environment. It becomes like a structural thing that is, one thing moves out this way, the environment changes, well then we're gonna make up for that with more of the biological. The biological changes a little bit, like whatever the neurotransmitters are doing, then we're gonna make up for that with the the trauma, the triggers of trauma. Like it pretty much is incurable. Like for right now, because it is so enmeshed in how someone views the world, i.e. like, the ignorance, you can't see the forest through the trees. Even if that person knows there's something wrong, they can't, that is the disease, is to not be able to fully be conscious of it. Anyway, so you know, unless you have that, I don't think you're watching this video if you're having that. Like, that is less, that's, yeah. So attention seeking, especially in this day and age where we're all a little bit more narcissistic, right? Not great. I mean, it's not the best thing to need external validation all the time. And it's better to try and find that from within. What the hell, dude? People are losing on the roads right now. But yeah, you're not the narcissist. You are not the narcissist. I'm gonna Maury you guys. You're not the narcissist. Just because you need attention. Validation, again. If you have empathy, you're not a narcissist. If you have empathy, you're not a psychopath. If you have empathy, you're not a sociopath. If you have empathy, you're not Machiavellian. That's a weird one, though. I don't like talking about that one as much, as well as it's the one that like no one uses. They should get that out of the DSM. Like I don't even know what the name is. It's like attention seeking, blah blah blah, but it's like not the sadism. I forgot what it's called, but it's like no one ever brings it up. I think it's kind of a silly diagnosis. I shouldn't say that. It's just rare. What's it called? Oh, I can't think of it. But if you can think of it, post Malone down below. Yeah, so I guess this is gonna be a quick video. I don't want to just harp on. I'm gonna try not harp on as much. There it is. Narcissism, attention seeking, and validation seeking. You don't have narcissism if you're doing that, necessarily. That's very common. Human beings have needs they need met. Yes, narcissists, by and large, will have these traits, but that doesn't mean you're a narcissist. So I thought that'd be a good one for episode 2. We'll see how these videos do. I realize that the title isn't great and the acronym, whatever, but I'm gonna keep, try and knock these out. Maybe I'm gonna make them a little bit shorter too, so they can stay on topic. But yeah, that's the video. Have a good one.